because there were so many people, just had to make some changes to the tables and everything. So we're gonna get right down to the action here. We picked a feature match, something a little bit different than you've been seeing at the Pro Tour stream. So, which first and foremost, thank you for joining us. There is a ton of content out there, and if you chose to spend your time and wait here with us, we appreciate it. And I think we're gonna deliver some really great games of Modern that you maybe didn't see on the Pro Tour. So maybe just something a little bit different today. So. What do we got round one, Kevin?
So for round one, we have Cam Platt on the left here and Braylon Brzic on the right. We have Cam Platt playing Green Red Ponza and Braylon and Bant Knightfall. So these are two like special names made for the deck. Green Red Ponza, basically the premise of the deck is to actually just destroy all the lands that your opponent has and play big stupid creatures like Inferno Titan.
Yeah,
and Braylon,
Stormbreath Dragon.
Yeah, Stormbreath Dragon too. Yeah. And Braylon has Bant Knightfall, which is basically a collected company deck in Bant colors, which is white, blue, green. And it also has a combo with Retreat to Core Helm and Knight of the Reliquary, which we will explain if we see it. And you can also just Google it.
I can't help but feel like Knight of the Reliquary matches up well versus Stone Rain. You know, kind of a almost natural counter to it. But we're gonna see how this game plays out. I know Cam does, and we actually see it in his hand there. That white border card is a Blood Moon, and it does turn off all of Braylon's fancy schmancy lands. So I'm really curious to see how this game plays out. It looks like the players are ready to go. Hey PTC, just curious, man. Can you hear the audio? Okay, let us know if you can in chat. Appreciate it. But players are almost ready. Cam just looking at his hand. Looks like they're good to go. They're just waiting for the judge to let people know that they can start playing. So we can maybe get a preview of how this game's going to start out here.
Maybe we should give them go ahead?
Yeah, they know. They're just waiting for the judge to go or whatever. They're going to get going right away. So thank you, PTC. Appreciate it, bud. So, yeah, I'm excited about this. I think we're going to have a ton of people coming over from the Modern stream after the Pro Tour, which I can't wait. You know,
I'm excited for the spike, but we appreciate whoever's watching right now. You guys are the dedicated ones.
So, but I'm excited about it. We have 7 rounds, which is a round longer than it normally is too. This tournament's going to go all night, Kevin.
Yeah, biggest individual fusion tournament within the store ever. Like this.
So
this is very exciting.
It looks like Braylon's leading us off with a turn 1 Windswept Heath here. You know, it's going to put him to 19. He's going to play that Hierarch. Just going to see if he gets a basic or not. So land count is something you have to keep track of with this deck. It's not that important, but it does come up.
Yes.
So you only have so many lands, like, because people think that once you get the Nightfall combo, that you just combo off infinitely. But you actually have a finite amount of lands, finite amount of life kind of thing, so you can't actually go infinite. So
that's definitely something you have to practice. It's something you can actually just go
fish. It's just something that kind of randomly comes up. It's a random nuance of the matchup. So here we go, Cam Platt, turn 1, Birds of Paradise. That's where he wants to be. So, and Braylon, does he have it? Knight of the Reliquary.
Very important.
So it's a 3-3 right now. Can Cam kill this?
And does Cam main deck board wipes in terms of anger? Because this could be pretty crucial in the matchup too.
He doesn't. He has them in the sideboard. So I'm curious to see what Cam's going to play here. I actually really like just jamming the Blood Moon here because it's really going to turn off Braylon's plan here. You know, it's going to turn all these lands off. The Knight's only going to be able to sacrifice his forest and be able to, you know, get, well, pretty much a mountain if it's not a basic. So I think this Blood Moon could be crippling here, to be honest.
Yeah, it looks like he's going to go for it too, judging by this basic fetch.
Because a 3/3 Knight is not that hard to deal with.
Exactly.
You know, and you can bring it up to a 4/4, but then, like, all the fetch lands in the rest of the deck are kind of offline here, so.
Yeah, and if he can even try to aim for the mana dorks to try to just stunt Braylon's mana even more.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we got this good old bordered Blood Moon.
Okay, and let's see kind of how the game takes off. I don't think Cam's upset by this in the slightest here.
Definitely not.
You know, despite Braylon having this Noble Hierarch, which produces the 3 colors, having a forest, I think Cam's still happy about this because this Knight that he actually has a really hard time dealing with isn't going to get out of control this game. So
yeah, what's crucial is that he's limited to 1 spell per turn now. Right now, Braylon could puke 2 creatures out if he had the mana, but now he doesn't.
Yeah, he could really get ahead on the board. White border lands are awesome. You know, a lot of people say it's to make it easier to shuffle, you know, in Modern, because that and like fetch and stuff like that. But that's nonsense. They're just.
You know, they got the nice classic old school feel. They don't make white borders anymore, so.
Like, look at that Blood Moon, you know. You're just a poor player in 94. But so let's see what Braylon decides to do here. He does have that Path of Exile available. I'm really curious to see if we're actually going to see the Stormbreath Dragon. Stormbreath Dragon is so funny in that that card is not overpowered, but protection from white is a powerful line of text in Modern. You know, so
super relevant. Yeah,
Voice of Resurgence. Okay. And there goes our colored mana, so now we're stuck with 2 mountains. And Braylon looks like he's actually going to sacrifice his forest at the end of the turn. So let's see what Cam's got going on T4 here. I see a Birds of Paradise. Don't really have a good glimpse of anything else in his deck. Just giving that Knight of the Reliquary a read. And again, you know, the red-green deck, it actually has a hard time killing things that are, like, big. You know, if you got 5 toughness in the ass and you don't have, like, a roast, you're going to just naturally just have a hard time killing some of these threats. So
yeah, you can only kill so much when you're just burning a creature down.
Oh, Tireless Tracker. Tireless Tracker. That's a good card, Kevin.
It's a good flash. Oh, we got Arbor. No, triple mana dorks. Oh, Cam's planning for a big turn, it looks like.
What are your thoughts on 3/4 mana dorks? Wow.
Yeah, hopefully Braylon doesn't randomly run whatchamacallit, his own Anger of Gods or his own board
in
wipe.
his Bant deck.
Yeah, in his
that
Bant
would
deck.
be fierce.
Yeah, that would be quite ambitious.
So, but looks like Cam just wants to set up, and I think this Tireless. There's a world where this Tireless Tracker now just takes over the game in Cam's hand. He did accidentally flip it onto the table, but so let's see what Berlin can kind of muster up here. It looks like he values getting his Knight of the Reliquary as big as possible.
Yeah,
so
it's currently attacking as a 6/6 with double Exalted triggers.
But he wants to keep getting those lands into the graveyard. So Cam's gonna take 4 here. So it's gonna put him to 15.
I really like how Braylon's approaching this game. He's recognizing that he's probably not gonna win the late game, so he's trying to accelerate his Knight of the Reliquary as much as he can.
Yeah.
But what's also interesting about Braylon sacking the forest, now Cam's Stormrains hold even more value because Braylon is cutting all his basics from the deck by doing this game plan.
Yeah.
So Cam can actually stun him if Braylon runs out basics.
So, and here we go. I think this, Kevin, I have a hunch that this Tireless Tracker is going to do a lot of work this game. I think this card is going to get out of control big. Especially with our army of chump blockers that we now have. This card, in a way, we're actually going to pull that card up for you just in case you haven't seen it before, maybe you haven't been out of it. But one of the most surprising, I think this is the card that spiked up most in
Standard.
during Innistrad, like Shadows over
Innistrad.
Innistrad. Because this card was, a $1 rare kind of thing, and now it's crazy. Yeah, it's just a ton of money. So
people thought it was just too much of a mana investment, but the card's amazing.
Obstinate Baloth. So Cam playing some Obstinate Baloth's main. The card is it's just a good card. Just 4/4 for 4. When it comes to play, gain 4 life. If it is discarded, you can buy an opponent's ability. You can put it into play for free. So kind of a way to deal with Liliana. So
it's also very important to note, Cam actually held that forest in his hand just for the Tireless Tracker clue, because Cam didn't play a turn 3 land drop. So Cam's really valuing card advantage here.
I think he realizes that this game's going to get really grindy. So, and I couldn't agree more with him, Kevin, to be honest. So
both players already have Ascend, it looks like.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no kidding. So what could we be ascending into right now? What cool cards with Ascend could there be? I just can't really think of any.
The Wayward Swordtooth, I don't know. You
5/5
that attack.
Yeah. But anyways, so Cam now has 2 clue tokens. I think his position actually looks quite favorable here. And what are we playing? We'll play Monvoli Acid Moss. We're going to path to exile the Tireless Tracker. So that is something that's going to happen.
Yeah, good heads up play by Braylon. He realizes that Cam's going to ramp off this and Tireless Tracker's going to get the clue. So he just wants to avoid as much cards that Cam can get.
What happened with this knight? Did knight attack?
I believe it sacked something again.
I think knight attacked, and
yeah, it looks like it actually did attack. Yes, because the Hierarch just got tapped for this path exile.
Yeah, so just trying to make sure that I have life totals correct here. So at 13 here, you would have taken the 2 more. Or 1 more, rather. We'll get those life totals updated for you just shortly. But, so we got an Obstinate Baloth facing down. Okay, and Kevin, that's like a big boy elemental token there.
Yes.
I don't know if I love that attack that Cam just made, because that's kind of what it provoked there. Braylon actually wanted that. He can just ride this elemental like that token's attacking for 7.
Yeah, it's huge.
Right, so Cam just hoping to draw his Stormbreath Dragon, which would effectively blank the board here. Braylon attacking for 9.
I guess on Cam's perspective, he technically has 4 trump blockers. So
yeah, not exactly where we want to be, but so it looks like tap tap some
just
mana.
create some mana for some clues.
Yep.
Oh, that was a Stone Rain, I believe, peeled off the top.
So we're going to... We are going to take the 4 damage, putting us to 10 life here.
Yep.
Halfway there, Braylon. Let's see what Cam can draw. So gets a few looks here.
Yeah, so good draws, like you said. Stormbreath Dragon, Inferno Titan would be really strong as well.
Yeah, Inferno Titan would actually be crazy right now, just killing 3 things off the board and just having that 6/6 body. I think Braylon does have an extra Path to Exile in his hand, but still, just being able to take.
Yeah.
So
yeah, Inferno Titan right now would make Braylon manaless, like kill all 3 mana doors.
Yeah,
no
that'd
mana.
be crazy, right? So Cam is opting to race here, so he's gonna go to putting Braylon down to 13 life. Plays another Blood Moon and passes the turn. So not exactly what you want if you're a fan of Cam Platt here, but
gotta have that insurance policy out,
Yeah, no kidding.
Because Braylon does run Quasquali Prime Mage in his deck, so it is relevant.
Oh, that's fair. You know what? It's probably not what he was thinking, but maybe it was.
Yeah.
So Cam just gonna block here, with his just trying to preserve his life total as much as possible. So what do we got? Attack for 4. Braylon holding on to that Path of Exile.
Yeah, Braylon's actually being very disciplined with his path, just because he realizes that Cam can play Haymaker anytime, and Braylon wants to be prepared for it.
Yeah, no kidding. I would love to see the Stormbreath Dragon.
Yeah.
Oh, Cam flooding out a little bit here. Has that Stone Rain, so maybe drawing that part of the deck that he doesn't want to draw. So
yeah,
I
Braylon.
always find it so crazy how with these Stone Rain decks, you just really want to be doing it turn 2 every game, and it's so... Even Mind Sensor.
Oh, that's a spicy one.
So...
Oh,
and that's the game. Okay.
Yeah, so Braylon off to a great 1-0 start. Definitely great match. Game
I don't
by
even know.
Braylon.
Yeah, well, I don't know if there was much to talk about that game. I think that game was honestly decided by turn 1.
Birds.
By the coin flip, to be honest, right? When the Stone Rain deck goes on the draw and your opponent plays birds first, well, that kind of sucks. So, yeah, honestly, I don't think there was much to it. I think the game would have played out in a similar fashion because he did have he had the basic forest in his hand. When the Blood Moon was in play, he had a Birds in Paradise in play, which Cam couldn't deal with. So, yeah, really not much to say about it. So, we'll see what happens here.
Yeah, let's get off on sideboards here. So for Cam Platt, he has 3 Anger the Gods, 1 Drake Tusk, 1 Beast Within, 2 Trinity Spear, 1 Thrun, 1 Carnage Tyrant Spicy, 1 Fraction Gust, 2 Ancient Grudge, and 2 Relic of Progenesis.
Do you like Carnage Tyrant? I feel like that card's fine. I feel like Big Monster Dino is, just really underrated. He just comes in and chomps a lot of this nonsense. But
especially against Jeskai control, it seems like that's what it's suited for.
So
definitely
Relic of Progenesis also not the worst in this matchup. It is for the most part, neither the Reliquary deck, right? So just being able to shrink it turn by turn actually is pretty relevant. But let's look over to Braylon's sideboard here. What has he got? So we're looking at 2 guys the same draft, probably not coming in. Well, Reclamation Sage, probably coming in. Well, maybe. Do you bring in, right now, do you bring in Reclamation Sage versus the Blood Moons we saw?
Yeah, I would.
Yeah? Okay. All right. So we're bringing in a Reclamation Sage. We got a Negate. Probably bringing in a Negate. 2 Disdainful Strokes, also very good versus all of Cam's nonsense top end. Thalia Heretic Cathar, Kasali Pride Mage, Core Firewalker, Dispel, Is Staticaster, 2 EEs, Engineered Explosives for those of you that aren't familiar with it, 1 Eidolon of Rhetoric, and 1 Bajuka Bog. You know what, there's actually, I like the sideboard. It's just, just got a lot of good cards. Really not much to say about them, but I think a lot of these cards actually have a lot of play versus Cam in. So what do you bring in?
So what's actually important to note with these sideboard cards, Braylon doesn't run a basic island in this deck, so that could be irrelevant. I don't know if Cam knows the construction of a Bant Knightfall deck, but if he realizes that Braylon has very few sources of blue to produce, these blue counterspells can get stuck in Braylon's hand.
So, but again, I'm not sure if Cam is actually going to bring in those... keep those Blood Wounds in, rather, because he definitely has them in the main deck, as we saw game 1. I think it actually gave him a fighting chance that game. So,
but
I don't know. We'll have to see how this game plays out. I'm really curious to see what both players have boarded in, and maybe they can teach us something. So that'll be exciting. Players are just shuffling up. They're going to game 2 here. How do you feel about the Pro Tour so far? We'll just go on a quick tangent. It is going on right now. I think they're about 15 minutes away from announcing, if it has been announced already, the top 8.
Yeah, well, it is exciting to see Modern in the Pro Tour again. I believe both of you and I share the same sentiment. It kind of feels underwhelming in a sense. I don't know if like you viewers agree, but I don't know. I don't know what we were expecting, but it is nice, exciting to see Modern back on the Pro Tour again. It's been a couple years since Oath of the Gatewatch. Yeah, so we've just seen a bunch of different decks, humans, affinity, everything you can see in Modern.
You know, I'm gonna shout somebody out here. Jerry Thompson, he's playing a really sweet deck, and I think he's made the Pro Tour more exciting for me just because his deck is a little bit more uncommon. But everything else that we've seen on camera feels pretty. I'm gonna use the word stock.
Yeah.
It's things that we've seen before. They've been a little more refined, if they have at all.
Yeah.
No real innovation, and you know I've been playing a little bit of Magic Online. I'm paying attention to like 5-0 lists, and I've seen this Mardu deck before. But like you know these Bedlam Reveler rollouts where he kind of like plays 3 or 4 in a turn. I was like, this is sick. So that's making it exciting for me. I think if there wasn't that, I would have not a lot of positives to say. So Crafty Wolf Overlord, what's going on, man? Good to have you here. So our players is just shuffling up. They're drawing their 7, getting ready to go to game 2. So,
and it's not really the format. The format's already defined, right? So.
Players are off to a quick start. Turn 1 Arbor Elf. That is what. So you can actually get 4 mana on turn 2 off of an Arbor Elf rollout. If you have a Utopia Sprawl here, I'm actually really curious to see if Cam's actually going to have. No, we're attacking for 1. Not where you want to be. So plays a tapped Stomping Ground on turn 2. Not the most explosive rollout we've ever seen.
On the plus side, though, Braylon didn't even play Manador turn 1, so...
Yeah, no kidding. So
Cam doesn't have to worry about too much from Braylon's side. Yeah, so Braylon's just actually thinking about what kind of mana he wants to fetch for. It looks like he's stuck on 2 lands, with one of the lands being Gavany Township.
So he has this Hollowed Fountain, so he's going to take the 2, putting himself to 17. Let's see what happens here.
Looks like Voice is just being deployed.
Voice Resurgence. All right, we got to tap this guy. Yeah, there we go. All right, so, and we are very likely going to be seeing a shock. Oh, no, yeah. Getting that basic forest. So, all right, what do we got here, Cam? Playing Obstinate Baloth, just...
So, quick funny story. We had a 1.5k a couple months ago. Braylon actually really wanted to go, but he ended up getting food poisoning the night before.
Oh, that's a punish. Where did he eat?
He ate vegetarian fish tacos, I believe. Or vegetarian tacos, now that I think about it. But
that's a punish. He should be eating meat, you know.
Yeah. But it was unfortunate. So Braylon was very excited for the event, but he's prepared lots for this event.
Braylon's a vegetarian, right?
Yeah, he is vegetarian.
Yeah, so like, is that heat if I tell him to eat meat?
No, yeah.
No, it is. Okay, it is 2018 after all.
It is 2018. No, Braylon's a very easygoing guy. He won't get mad.
He seems like a really chill guy. Yeah. So, but Braylon going to his turn 3 here, untapping with 3 lands, the lands that we talked about earlier. Gavany Township. He's kind of got all his colors. He's got this Voice of Resurgence. He's probably got to feel good about it. So Cam is looking like he's playing the red-green monsters deck of old. You know, I would love to see a Carnage Tyrant just hit the field soon. So Nikachu is playing this week. He's in. He's here. Not sure what deck he is, but I'm not sure what build of Merfolk he's playing. I was gonna say what deck is he playing. He's obviously playing Merfolk. That's a stupid question. Knight of the Reliquary 3/3. But I don't know if he's playing the mono blue or blue green version. We'll chat him up, and I'm sure we'll get him on camera soon. So just hang tight. All right, we got 3 mana, 2 red. What are we playing? We're playing Anger of the Gods. Goodbye board. That bird was a sacrificial birds.
Yep.
Yeah, and that play had to be backbreaking there.
Oh yeah. Now Braylon is just reset to square 1.
Yeah, and this stupid 4/4, this Obstinate Baloth is he's just gonna truck along.
So Braylon does have a 4th land drop. Does not look like he has a Collected Company.
Oh, it's a red mana. You know, he's casting whatever he wants. Noble Hierarch here. All right. So he does have that path to exile available in his hand. 4 are we pathing? We're just going to snap it off. Yeah, I can't tell exactly what that card in his hand is, but... Cam, what do we got to follow up here? Oh, we're fetching. So we're going to 23.
Drop. Another Baloth. Or maybe Acid Moss.
I'm in for an Acid Moss here. What do you hit? I think if you hit the Stomping Grounds, you actually have a really hard time making red mana, which is important for the Wolfrun portion of the deck, although that's not even how Braylon won last game. So
yeah, I believe you just hit the Hollow Fountain, right? Yeah. Just because Braylon has a lot of white spells in his deck.
Utopia Sprawl. All right. So back to 4 mana.
Another Baloth.
Another Baloth. All right. So Nice and fair magic here coming from Camplat. And by fair, we mean, he's just not doing degenerate things. He's just playing 4/4s for 4.
Yeah.
All right. So I see a Knight of the Reliquary in Braylon's hand. It's not a spell queller, is it?
Yes, I believe it is.
Oh,
a
it is.
spell
It
queller,
is.
yeah.
Is
Braylon loves
he
spell queller.
he plays the full 4. Okay,
Yep.
so he's got some options here. Spell queller getting worse as the game goes on. In that Cam can start playing these haymaker spells. Some of them cost a little bit more. Playing Eternal Witness, he's gonna get a Path to Exile here. It looks like.
Yeah, a good value plan.
Yeah.
He's just ramping Cam to this monster Storm Breath.
At all points, we
Yeah.
talk about the Stormbreath Dragon. How sick would Carnage Tyrant be here? I'm so in for Carnage Tyrant from the board.
Just can't spell queller that,
Yeah. Path. All right. So second Bailoff that's been pathed. Leaves Braylon with a Eternal Witness for his troubles. And Cam actually passes the turn here. Not what you want to be doing if you're a fan of green-red Ponza. So Cam's just trying to, it is essentially a 2-part deck.
Yep.
Cam's just, we can't quite tell what's in his hand, so...
Yeah, that's the problem with ramp decks, right? You have a bunch of mana, and you can just draw one part of your deck, and it becomes unfortunate. Is Braylon main phasing of spell queller? No, that looks like
he
a
just
knight.
has another Reliquary
like a
there,
knight.
but he is actually going to be able to play both this turn.
Yeah.
So gets in for 3 with that Exalted trigger there.
So Braylon
Carefully tapping his mana.
Yep.
Yeah.
You always have to be careful with the way you tap your mana with a 3-color deck.
Can he? Oh yeah, yes, he can. I was going to say off the Noble Hierarch, he can cast a. Is that a Chandra?
Oh, Chandra would be nice.
Yeah, it is a Chandra.
Yeah, he Cam main decks 2 Chandra. Oh, that's a
Bonfire.
bonfire. Oh,
So that is
Love
a
me
big
some
boy bonfire.
bonfire.
Okay, so what do we got? 2, 4, 7. That is a bonfire for 6. Braylon's board is gonzo, along with half of Braylon's life.
Oh, it looked like Cam was behind that game.
Yeah.
No, bonfire.
Okay, you know what? So Bonfire of the Damned. Let's pull that one up for you guys that are unfamiliar with it. But this card looks like it's just single-handedly got Cam back into the game here. So Bonfire of the Damned. So Reclamation Sage comes into play, hits a Utopia Sprawl. So he did end up bringing it in. Better lucky than good. Cam's a big fan of the better lucky than goods here. So, and it looks like, what's he tapping for here? Is that a Stormbreath Dragon? 5 mana.
Yes.
Oh, it's a Stormbreath
Dragon.
So Braylon goes to 2, and here's red-green monsters, doing the dirty. So
Yeah, game 3.
Braylon reading this.
Yeah.
Can I Path to Exile this?
Can't block it with spell queller. Can't path it.
Oh, are we gonna try to Path it? No.
No.
Braylon fighting the good fight. Attack for 1 in the face of adversity. So Cam can actually win in a couple ways here. He can Monstrous. We're going to pull up Stormbreath Dragon for you right away for those of you that are unfamiliar with it. Awesome card from Theros. So
Braylon doesn't work that way. Oh,
Yeah.
yep, game 3.
so they are going to go to Tam, ties it up here. So they go to a game 3. We're going to pull up that Stormbreath Dragon. We've been talking about that card the whole time, but the real story of that game was actually that bonfire, which just kind of took over, right? So, but here's Stormbreath Dragon. So just this, how good would this card be in Standard right now, by the way? Hey, hold on. Before we talk about this card, is this card better or worse than Glorybringer?
This card is currently worse than Glorybringer.
Worse than
Standard.
Glorybringer!
Yes.
Chat. Do you think Kevin's crazy?
Yeah. You can kill something with Glorybringer. You can't kill something with Stormbreath.
You can Path to Exile a Glorybringer, Kevin.
I am well aware. We're talking about Standard, though, right?
No.
In Modern, Stormbreath is strictly better than Glorybringer.
Okay.
Yeah. But, this card's great. I play with it a bunch. Just who doesn't love playing Haste Dragons? It's amazing. It's so much fun to do.
But, yeah, so Cam actually had his opponent dead in a couple ways there. He can attack for lethal, and as if opponent does anything, he can actually activate that monstrous ability that you see there to activate. As long as Braylon had 2 cards in his hand, he was dead from that monstrous trigger.
Yep.
So, players are just shuffling up. I wonder if anything changes in the board. Braylon looks really confident. It makes me believe that he did actually put in those disdainful strokes, because I think they would have been crazy that game, right? They would have countered that bonfire. They would have countered the Stormbreath Dragon. They countered these obstinate Bailoffs, right? And those are really the games that are winning the game here. So
Yeah, that bonfire was huge.
yeah, well, that you know
That's
what? I'm more excited about the dragon, but the bonfire was actually what won the game. Not only did it chunk Braylon from 12 to 6, putting him in that in that range, but it also cleared the whole board, right? Couldn't get spell quellered. Fantastic. So Just the way Richard Garfield wanted the game to be played, right?
Exactly. Better lucky than good.
So.
Yeah, so Braylon at least gets to go into play this time, which is really important, especially when 2 decks are playing Mana Dorks.
Yeah, so he's just got to be careful. He has seen that Anger of the Gods, so he is aware that Cam does have those available to him, along with this Bonfire of the Damned, right, which we can't talk about enough. So.
Yeah, Anger is a really relevant problem, but I don't think you can play around Anger. You kind of have to deploy all your threats. Well, you can play around Anger to a degree, but you want to roll as fast as you can.
I don't know if you can't, whatever, but you just... yeah, sometimes you don't need to play everything, right?
Yeah.
So just gotta be a little bit more careful.
And what's really neat about both these decks have a grind element, Cam with Talus Tracker, Braylon with Knight of the Reliquary. So it's really cool to see both of these go head to head.
I was really excited to actually see how much work Talus Tracker could have done that game 1, but unfortunately it did just get pathed. And rightly so. I think it would have taken over the game, but it I just would have been really curious to see how much it could have done. So. All right, so players just thinking about it, they have drawn their 7. I see a Birds, I see a Land in Braylon's hand. Probably keep, and that's all. If you're playing a Birds of Paradise deck, that's really all you want to see, right? Cam, I see a Forest. He's mulling about it. Those white borders helping us out a little bit. So I see a couple forests. 3 forests here. No, he's going to put it back. So Cam, Plat with green-red Ponza going a 6. So just while our player is shuffling, I just want to give a quick shout-out to, you can see it on the screen there, FusionGamingOnline.com for hosting this event. We're located here in Winnipeg, Manitoba. 74 players playing Modern today.
It's amazing.
It's crazy. Along with that, thank you to themanabase.com, your home base for everything Magic the Gathering. Tons of articles go up. There's actually content every day, so make sure you guys check it out. So for letting us stream this event.
Yeah, remodel the website very soon, so it's going to be very exciting.
Oh, really? Well, that's exciting. So make sure you guys check that out. It's going to be even better than it was before, so we'll have some ads playing after this round. But tons of Modern today. Stay tuned. I know the Pro Tour is also on right now, so if you haven't had enough of a fill from the Pro Tour, we have, after this game, 6 more rounds with a potential top 8. I never want to come into a top 8 because it is going to go late, and there's a world where our players split.
Yeah.
So if you want to see a top 8, you want to hope for Nikachu because he never splits in the top 8, and he's got to make everybody play. So let's see if Cam's happy with his 6. Looks like he's drawn here.
Looks like a bunch of lands. Hopefully there's at least a couple.
I see a Stone Rain. Ooh, I don't know if you want to keep in Stone Rain versus this matchup, Cam. He does keep, but you know what? Let's see. Maybe he can teach us something here. Braylon quickly firing off that Flooded Strand. He's going to play Birds. Has to take 2. So
yeah, Stone Rain's definitely a card I think you'd side out more of on the draw.
Yeah. Oh, and he doesn't have a turn 1 burn, so his deck is not going to be operating at the speed that he'd like. Yeah. But, you know, he does have sweepers available, so maybe it doesn't matter, right? And I did see a Tireless Tracker in his hand. So we'll see. I have a hunch that this game is going to take a different, is going to look a little bit different than the first 2 that we saw. So we'll see, though.
All important, though, Braylon, no turn 2 play.
Yeah, you know what, though? We know that he has those Spell Quellers available to him. Cam doesn't have anything available. You know, this is how you counter Spell Queller, by the way, guys. You just don't play anything.
Yeah.
So, Brilliant Sacks at the end of turn. He's going to fix his mana. Keeps getting that Forest. Makes sense. You know, even probably not worried about Blood Moon, but you still got to respect it, right? Like what happens in the world where we get angered and then we don't have these birds to kind of fix our mana. So, yeah. Nothing remarkable, but just something you got to keep in note. So Braylon actually has Collected Companies in his hand, and you got to feel good about that. That card is so powerful. I got to see on the Pro Tour a Humans player cast a Collected Company today, and it just seemed so insane. It put in this Keswick Malcontents and
that's
something else in play. So it was like end of turn, play a Giant Threat, Lava Axe you. Okay. So, anyways. So what are we doing here, Cam? We gotta do something. So I imagine we're just gonna play this Tireless Tracker and live on a prayer, but no, we're casting a Stone Rain. So
interesting.
I'm curious what he casted on. So if you're Braylon here, do you Spell Queller or do you Company while you have the Company in hand?
I think you just Company. It looks like Cam has a very slow draw, so you want to push down as many creatures as you can.
So.
Yeah, and looks like Braylon is going to, in fact, play this Company.
Well, you know what? There's also a world where the Company just has a Spell Queller on it, right? And that's the dream. So, but maybe that just doesn't happen. Maybe our Not that Cam is not our hero or that Braylon's not our hero, but maybe our green-red Ponza player will actually get the play if that doesn't happen. So we'll see what happens here, though.
I actually think this is a bit of a misstep from Braylon. He should let Cam stone rain first, and then he could fetch, because now Cam could take him out of basic forest, which is important, because green is the most important color in Braylon's deck.
All right, so what do we got? Do we got a spell queller? I see a Geist the Saint Draft. Why do you bring in Geist the Saint Draft versus Anger of the Gods deck? It's gonna work out. This is. You know what? I do not like this sideboard strat whatsoever. However, it is going to work out for Braylon here. So he gets rid of that breeding pool. We're going to chunk the red-green Ponza player here. So
Yeah, this is huge, though. 8 damage is coming in.
yeah, and you know what? This is going to make short work of Cam here. So even a bonfire at this point would actually be... Wait, would that actually counter bonfire? No. Because the converted mana cost, bonfire would actually get him out of this.
Yeah,
so he was pretty quick. That's lethal though, Cam.
Yeah.
You can't fetch here.
Oh no, what Cam would you fetch? Maybe you have like
he gets
okay,
a birds. Okay,
understandable. Yeah.
So, Braylon was presenting that 10.
Oh, he's
so,
path
but this
exile,
path,
though.
and that's the game, right?
Yeah, it's Xaxes.
So, I'll be honest, Kevin. I think, Braylon doesn't see it, does he? Oh no, he totally does see it. So.
He's just gonna township. He's gonna do go even more style. But this is still not lethal though. This is 9 damage with the township activation.
Is it 3, 6, 9? Yeah, that's right, Kevin. Braylon had the game 1 there, but Cam can draw this bonfire.
Yeah.
Now and just. I guess it would leave up this spell queller.
Yeah, so not even bonfire would save him, unfortunately.
Oh, we'll fix that, boys.
Yeah.
There we go. But Braylon could have won this game. All he had to do was
just
cast the Path to Exile.
Yeah.
I do not like this. I don't like the sideboard that both of our players did, but I'm sure they both had the reasons.
Yeah.
You know, so maybe Braylon brought in those counter spells. Not a bonfire. That's a blood moon. And plays line, pass the turn. So congratulations to Braylon for winning our first game here at the booth. Myself, Philip Roman, Kevin True here. So this camera looks silly. Let's fix this. Can't even see anything. So we got 7 rounds of Modern today. That was round 1. We had Braylon B and Cam Platt on coverage. So I think the Pro Tour is ending soon. But yeah, anything to say about that game, Kevin?